Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trek on Tuesday. Hello, Aaron. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Gina. How are you?
I am great. We have a super cool guest on deck, one of our favorite topics to cover today. And for some reason, they're trusting us with a really cool chance to unveil an announcement related to the 2026 Jamboree.
Very risky on their part, Gina.
Mm-hmm,
We've
mm-hmm.
had this guest on a couple of times, but we've never had him on in maybe his most important role. Ladies and gentlemen, can we welcome him to the show, Gina? Can we get Tom on real quick?
Absolutely. But I have to say, when we do, it's going to unveil our big news. You're going to see that he's branded. He's got the Jamboree branding. He's got the logo. You're going to spot it all. Easter eggs for you all.
Yes, we are here to announce the 2026 Jamboree logo and theme. Tom is in the process of joining us right now. Let's see how his internet holds up, Gina. But the logo and theme, I know that Tom and a staff, some of our friends in the magazine publishing division, went through quite a lengthy creative process to try to come up with a Jamboree theme and logo. Remember when we announced this 4 years ago for the last Jamboree, Gina? It was kind of an exciting moment. So we are happy to have you all here today to witness the reveal here in just a few seconds, as soon as we can get Tom on here.
Tom is working from the office, and which you won't be able to tell when you see him here in a second. But what's funny is before we go live on these shows, we always get to kind of talk with our guest, and Tom is definitely a friend of ours, and he's a friend of the show. And we were laughing because usually we've had him on the show a few times. He's usually in the backyards with his sons doing a cooking demo. And like you mentioned, he is, serving in a different capacity in today's show. He is actually was and still is the National Jamboree director. So he is the man that has all of the answers related to Jamboree. Obviously, we're a few years out, but there's a lot to talk about.
And what's great is when we had him on earlier and tested the connection, it worked perfectly. Everything worked absolutely fine. So
it's okay. We're just, but let me tell you something very exciting that we need the time to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tom has very graciously agreed to let us give away 10 stickers for the 2026 Jamboree.
Yes, I love.
And I don't want to tell you what they say. They are themed.
What's cool about the stickers is there's the logo, right? The stickers feature the logo and the theme of the 2026 National Jamboree, to be held at the Summit Bechtel Reserve, as all jamborees are now, Gina. So this is an opportunity for folks to sort of show not only their Scouting America pride, but their Jamboree specific pride. Tom's got a sticker he showed us on his water bottle. That's a great place to put it. You could put it on a notebook, on a computer. You could put it on just about anything, right?
All you Jamboree fans will be very excited to snag one of these. And if you are not a Jamboree fan, that probably means you just haven't been yet. Ooh, we can hear him.
Hey, there we are. Hey, friends.
Hey, Tom, how are you? We can hear Tom, but we can't see him.
We got to see.
Well, I'm sorry. I can see me.
I
can see me.
It's okay.
I can see you.
So as
I'm here, I promise.
Gina, what do the folks need to do to win a
prize?
Yes,
everyone watching, you just need to comment for a chance to win one of the 10 stickers. 10, that's a lot of prizes for 30 minutes. 10 stickers we're giving away today. Any moment now, hopefully, we're going to be revealing the Jamboree theme. If we can't get Tom's photo in, we're lucky enough to have the logo, and we'll be able
behind
to
the scenes. Brian has an image, so let's maybe have Brian put that up. There we go. There he is, right there. Hey, Tom, since you can hear us, maybe tell us what the theme is. Elevate, as you guys can see. Tell us about that. What does that mean?
Yeah, absolutely, and I apologize for not being able to see me. I'm sorry.
And live video. These things happen, Tom. These things happen. It's no big deal.
Yeah. I do have a wonderful face, so
folks are very excited about the logo, like seeing it right now. They're pumped.
Everybody, yes, a lot of folks want the sticker as well. So, Tom, you and many other people went into kind of a lengthy brainstorming session trying to figure out a logo and a theme. How did that all come about? And tell us what Elevate means.
Absolutely. So, yeah, thanks. We spent a lot of time with our volunteers. We got a great group of volunteers together that are helping to organize and plan the Jamboree. And we said, hey, what is the thing that we want to really lean into with our Jamboree for 2026? And we kept coming back to this idea of Elevate. and of raising the bar on our staff and on with our scouts and with their experience. We're going to lean into things like elevating your leadership. We're going to give you an opportunity to learn more about leadership as a part of the Jamboree. We're going to elevate your adrenaline for sure. You're going to have opportunities to do all kinds of high adventure activities and high adrenaline sorts of things. We're going to elevate your network. One of the things that we heard from our surveys in the 2023 Jamboree from all of our youth was the fact that they wanted to meet and greet people from all over the country. And that's one of the best things about a Jamboree, is that you get to meet people from everywhere. And so we're going to elevate that opportunity for you to really network and get to meet some people and see some folks from across the country that you may not know.
Very cool. Again, the folks at home are like pumped on this theme. I don't know. Maybe they just want a sticker as a reminder. If you're commenting along with the show, you're entered for a chance to win one of 10 stickers that will ship your way next week. All you do is comment along. I love this theme. I love the logo. There's like some Easter eggs, I think, if you really try to look in there and analyze it. So I'm excited to get to look at that throughout today's show. Tom, I want to kind of actually, there was a comment for you I really want to read. It was some technical advice from Earl. Unplug, plug it back in, or kick it.
There we go. I love it. I love it, Earl.
Kind of whack the side of it.
Hey, it worked.
Tom, he's here. Yeah,
Earl, your trick worked.
There we go, Earl. I did it, buddy. I did it just for you, my friend.
No, okay. I do want to ask a question because this is something kind of brought up to me when we were promoting the show. A lot of youth really can only attend Jamboree as youth one time. So for many of, the audience that we're hoping to reach and hoping to invite to Jamboree, this is their first chance to potentially go. What is Jamboree? Define it for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that is one thing, Gina, to lean into, is that as a youth, you really have about one shot to come to the Jamboree. The Jamboree happens about every 4 years, and it is the largest gathering of scouts in the entire country. We become one of the top 5 to 10 largest cities in West Virginia during those 10 days. And you see on your screen, there's some images of past Jamborees and folks at the Jamboree just enjoying themselves. But it's really a time that we get together. We celebrate scouting. We celebrate what it means to be a scout. And we give you opportunities to do some really high adventure sorts of things and to just hang out and have a great time being a scout with all of those folks from across the country that want to do that same thing.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys can see we're looking at photos from the last Jamboree. A lot of cool stuff. Anybody who's ever been to the Summit Bechtel Reserve will recognize some of these shots. If you haven't been, the 2026 Jamboree is a great opportunity to attend. Tom, speaking of attend, who can attend the National Scout Jamboree? Obviously, adults of all ages. We're going to talk a little bit about the roles that they can play later. But what about youth? Who is allowed to attend the Jamboree?
Absolutely. So you have to be at least 12 years old by the time we begin the Jamboree. So by day one of the Jamboree, which is July 22nd, 2026, go ahead and circle that on your calendar. Put it on your calendar now, set a couple reminders, all that sort of thing. But July 22nd, 2026, you had to be at least 12 years old. And so we're going to have the opportunity for you to come as a member of a Scouts BSA troop. Or if you're 14 and over, if you're a member of a venturing crew, you can also come as a venturer. You can also come as a member of a Sea Scout ship. So any of those ways, our older youth programs, you can come and be a part of the Jamboree in any of those ways. We want you to be involved with that. And some of you are thinking, wow, 2 years away. How old am I going to be in 2 years? If you're a Webelos right now, you're a Webelos Air of Light right now, you can come to the Jamboree in 2026. And that's the way to think about it.
That's
so if you're
exciting.
in the Webelos program now, right, you want to be a part of the Jamboree and be there and come for that very first time and be a part of the Jamboree. There's something for all of those folks to do. We're going to have a great time doing the different programs and activities that we do there.
I know a lot of folks at home are asking questions about visitors and programs for Cub Scouts. Now, we're a few years out, so we'll get a little bit more into, what's going to be distinct about 2026. But just know the planning is still in process. We will be bringing you every bit of Jamboree news that we get live to you. As soon as Aaron and I find out, we'll talk to Tom. We'll bring you all the news. We're committed to make sure you all know about that. I also see questions about older youth potentially attending. Lots of good questions. Keep them coming because I think they kind of inform and the next conversations that we'll be having. So
absolutely. The good news here, Gina, is, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
Please.
But the good news here is that Gina and Aaron and I are friends. And I promise you, we will be back, and we're going to have webinars from now until 2026. We're going to have different opportunities to talk about all things program. We're going to talk about how to get to the Jamboree. We're going to talk about all those things. So look for our webinars on our website. So as you go into the jamboree.scouting.org, you'll see that. We're going to post everything there, and you'll see the webinar calendar as we get it together.
Yeah, Tom's exactly right. Our calendar is clear for any Jamboree announcemements. Anytime he wants to come on the show, he's welcome. We had a comment that I want to read from Leslie Correa, who I think she knows you. She says, "Hello from your old pack, Pack 20, Cub Scout pack."
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, you have a long history in scouting. Do you want to give us a little idea of, what is your role as director of Jamboree? This is your second time. And we've heard of Glenn Alt. What's his role versus your role? How does that all work together?
Great questions. Yeah. So I serve as the Jamboree director. What that means is I'm on the professional side of the world, working with the Jamboree to help make sure that we put on a great program. And I get to work with some of the best volunteers in the Boy Scouts of America and in Scouting America. I get to work with some of the very best volunteers. And one of those is Dr. Glenn Alt. Dr. Glenn Alt is our chair. So he is the CEO, if you want to think about it in a business perspective. He's the CEO of the Jamboree. He gets to help us make all the decisions about what's going to happen and how things are going to work, along with all of our, what we call our XCOM, our executive committee. And so we've got great volunteers from across the country that are working together to put on this event. And as I said, my job is to help coordinate it from the top. And like I said, we become a city in West Virginia. We have all sorts of things that go on with that. We've got our own, medical teams. We've got our own maintenance teams. We've got all of those things that you would see in a city. We've got all of that in the Jamboree and on the Jamboree site. We've got security. We've got local police. We've got state police. We've got the military, all there that help us and make sure that we're running a great, wonderful event. And so my job is just to help coordinate all of those things.
Yeah, Jamboree is a massive event, Tom. It is, like you say, it is like its own little city operating out there at the Summit Bechtel Reserve in Virginia. We're talking about the 2026 National Jamboree, just a little more than 2 years away. I want to bring to the attention a comment from Nick, who says, "I will be on staff." Thank you, Nick. We appreciate that, which is, Nick must be reading my mind, because that was going to be my next question for you, Tom. It takes a lot of folks to run a city, right? Obviously, the Jamboree is for the youth. It's for kids to go out and have fun. But just like any summer camp or high adventure base, it takes staff to make it happen. Tom, can you talk real quick about the role of staff and kind of what you guys are looking for as you recruit staff over the next couple of years?
Of course, yeah. So we actually call our staff the JST, or the Jamboree Service Team. So if you see that or hear that come across, you might see something that says JST, sign up here. That is our Jamboree Service Team. That's what we call our staff. And so we need about 5,000 staff members in order to put on a Jamboree. We've got to have folks that are, and you see lots of pictures going. So all of these things that are happening all take staff. So there's a shot of Boulder Cove right there, and that takes staff to be able to put those things on. So certainly if you have a credential, so if you're a COPE director, if you're a climbing director, as a part of our National Camping School, if you've been through those, we really need your help. If you're an EMT, if you're if you're a nurse, a doctor, we need your help. If you're in security, if you're maybe a retired police officer, we need your help to put on the Jamboree and to be a part of that. And so we have opportunities for everybody from that adult standpoint to be a part of the Jamboree. And I love the comments. I see a bunch of comments here. Hey, I'm coming. Hey, I'm coming. Hey, I'm coming. And I will answer the one question, because I know lots of people have asked this question, and I see it come here about bean dip. So I see the bean dip question. If you don't know about the bean dip, that's a 2023 inside joke for many of us. But we are working on the menus right now, and so I will promise you that there will not be 6 days of bean dip or whatever. But yeah, thanks for throwing that out. I see lots of people that were here. You can tell our good Jamboree friends from 2023 when they put comments like that. So really appreciate you coming and coming back. So Bill says he's coming back. I love that, my friend. I appreciate that.
That's the kind of thing you come back with, back home with, inside jokes. Our staff definitely really bonds, just like the Scouts do. It's its own like subculture there at Jamboree, and you can tell those adults are having a lot of fun. Pretty funny. So I want to take a second and highlight comments, but reminder, if you're watching at home, and there are a lot of you, by the way, which is very exciting. Thank you. Continue to tag friends who you think want to know about Jamboree, they're going to staff, or maybe they're parents of Scouts who could attend. Every comment enters you for a chance to win a Elevate 2026 National Jamboree sticker. Yes, we will mail this your way. So seeing, Brian said he attended in 93. I know we called that out. Bill says he's going to be returning to the mountain bike staff. Earl says he'll need help in Lost and Found. I wonder if he's staffed Lost and Found before. I bet that is very, very interesting. Eric says, when will people be able to sign up for staff? Did we cover that?
Oh, that's a great question. We did not. Registration is going to open this fall. And so that'll be registration for volunteers for our JST, as well as registration for our council. So, we've talked a little bit about the JST and the staff, but I know there are folks that are watching and say, hey, listen, I just want to come and hang out and be a part of a contingent with my troop. I want to bring some people. I want to come and work with the youth as a part of that. So all of that registration will come out this fall. So be looking for that. Again, we'll make lots of announcements. We'll put it out on the website. We'll send out to those that sign up to receive emails. You'll get that from us as well. But look for this fall. That's when we'll have those signups. We'll go live with that this fall.
Now, there are lots of very specific questions rolling in, Tom, and as opposed to getting into all of those yet, which, guys, everyone trust, we will have all of the answers not long from now, but we are talking 2026. So I am curious, Tom, what kind of scoop can you give us about the 2026 Jamboree?
So I think the biggest thing that I wanted to share with folks is that, and we've said there's lots of people on here that came in 2023 and you had lots of feedback for 2023. We heard you. We listened to your feedback. One of the biggest things that we're going to do in 2026 is we are going to bring back the larger arena show. So I know that is big. I know that folks wanted to do that. I know that was a big comment from 2023, said, hey, we love the bashes. Now, here's the inside scoop. The bashes aren't going away. But we are going to have a big arena show. And we wanted to let everybody know that that's going to be a big part of what we do.
Yeah, that is awesome. Like Gina said, a lot of folks in the comments asking questions about specific programs, things like that. And as we said, we're going to have that information for you guys over the next few months, over the next year or so. I would encourage everybody maybe sign up for the email newsletter, right, Tom, at jamboree.scouting.org. Also stay, if I could, go to Aaron on Scouting. We'll have updates for you there on a regular basis. And of course, watch us every Tuesday on Trek on Tuesday to find out about updates, because we're going to be having Tom on multiple times between now and then. Did get a quick question, Tom, that I think we can address about staff. What's the age requirements for staff members?
Oh, that's a great question. So most of our staff positions are for adults, most of them. So there are staff positions for anyone 16 and older. So 16 and older can be on, but there are limited positions for those youth staff. I would encourage you, if you're a youth, if you're 16, 17, 18, 16 or 17, and you're interested in coming, if you're a member of the Order of the Arrow always has the Order of the Arrow Service Corps. So I would encourage you to be a part of that. If you're 16, 17 years old and want to come be a part of the Order of the Arrow, that is a great group. We'll be at the National Order of the Arrow Conference in July. So stop by and see us there. If you're interested, we'll get you some more information there at NOAC. So hope to see you there.
Very cool.
Yeah, Gina and I have both been to a jamboree. Gina, were you and I at the same one? I can't remember. Were we at different jamborees?
I think it was 2017. So
yeah, that sounds about right. Yes, we've both seen what it takes to put a jamboree together, and I want to emphasize what Tom said about your background as an adult professional, whatever it is that you do for a living. There's a really good chance that they're going to need those skills at the National Scout Jamboree. So if you are interested in attending, that is a great way to attend. And by the way, Tom, I also want to say for staffers, they're obviously working at the Jamboree, but they have time to have fun and walk around and do fun stuff too, right?
We absolutely, yeah. We want to have enough staff and enough JST that we can give people days off and afternoons off and several days to go in and be a part of the Jamboree. And we want you to do that. We encourage you to do that. We want folks to go out and be a part of that. We know that, I had at this last Jamboree, both of my sons were at the Jamboree. And so I took an opportunity to go and be with my kid at the Jamboree. And I'll tell you, there is nothing better. Aaron said that, my best job was this job, but my best job is being a dad, Aaron. And I know that you're a dad too, so you know that one. But
yes, sir.
The best opportunity I had at the Jamboree was when I got to go and spend that time with my two kids. We had a great time. And so I encourage you, there's only going to be a few people that can go with the contingent. Only a few adults with those adult contingents. But if you want to go and be a part of the Jamboree with your child, go as a staff member. You'll have the opportunity to go out and spend a little bit of time with your scout. You'll have the opportunity to go and hang out with them for a bit. It is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and you will not regret it if you get to go and be a part of the Jamboree with your kids. I promise.
That's awesome.
We're getting, as you predicted, we're getting questions, how much is staff and participant fee? I know we probably don't know the exact specifics about that, Tom, but when can we expect to hear the, Jamboree costs?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I love those questions. And I knew, and I told Gina and Aaron before we came on, I said, I know one of the questions folks are going to ask is about the cost. We are working really hard right now to plan the Jamboree. And to build that budget for the things that we want to do. And so you saw a couple pictures of different things, activities that have happened in the past. And I know that there was one picture that came up of a scuba. So one of the things that was not in 23 was scuba. Now, scuba is an expensive program. And so we're trying to build a budget with those things in mind. And so we want to make sure that we give you that opportunity and do that and build our program the best we can for the most affordable price. And so we're going to release that fee just before we release the registration. And so when we open up registration, we'll have the fee and all those things involved with that. Now, keep in mind that this is a 10-day experience. And so, we have a lot of folks that look at it and say, oh my gosh, it's $1,000. It's more than $1,000. It will be, but it is a 10-day experience with food and all these things that go along with that. I don't want to give you a price, but I do want to share with you that it's going to be more than your local summer camp. It really will, because the experience is more.
We've talked about this in the context of going to a high adventure base, doing a trek out there, but we'll talk about it, especially with Jamboree. Fundraising is part of the process. It's
Absolutely.
very unlikely that you're just going to be able to go, no fundraising. That, that's great. That is the exception for the scouts who are able to do that. Fundraising is kind of, I think, oftentimes when we talk to scouts, it's what they remember about getting to Jamboree. It's part of the whole thing. It's part of the whole memory, standing out, whatever they did to fundraise. And Aaron, you made the point, I think, people are fundraising right now to go to Jamboree.
Yeah, Gina, remember a year or two ago, when we talked about fundraising for our high adventure bases, you and I both separately ran into some scouts at our neighborhood grocery stores who just happened to be fundraising for future trips to, I don't remember, Summit, maybe Sea Base, things like that. So yeah, with Jamboree a little over 2 years away, now is a great time, if you haven't started already, to start fundraising. And the great thing is, whatever fundraising that you're scout troop or venturing crew or whatever, Sea Scout ship, whatever you guys do, you can do that to fundraise the Jamboree. Now, you may have to do a little bit of extra, you may have to do a little bit on the side, but all of that is great fundraising ways to save money for the Jamboree. You've got 2 years to do it. So, when you think about it that way, you don't have to hit a home run every single time you go out and sell popcorn or camp cars or whatever it is. It's just sort of steady as she goes. And, Tom, right. And Tom, one of the things that Gina and I found from talking to folks who have fundraised their way to events like the Jamboree and high adventure bases is how fond memories they have of the fundraising process. Like several scouts told us, that was a part of the process, right, Tom?
Absolutely. I shared with you, both of my kids went to the Jamboree in 23, and they worked hard to be able to go to the Jamboree. And that's one of those skills that we try to teach them, right? And that's one of the skills that scouting teaches, is this idea of work and hard work and, earning your own way. All of those are great life skills that we try to teach, and the Jamboree is a great way to do that. And both of my kids went out and raised their money to come and be a part of the Jamboree. And I encourage you to do that. And one of the reasons why we wanted to come on today, and we wanted to give you the information today about, number one, the date, but this theme and all this excitement is so that you can start now to start saving and start earning and start doing those fundraisers to be able to come to that Jamboree, because we know that it is absolutely going to be a great experience. And I saw a note here that went by. One of the comments went by and said, "Take my money. My kid had a great time in 23. He wants to come back." So absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We want you to come and be a part of that.
Yeah, again, that theme is Elevate. The dates, July 22nd through 31st. Mark them in your calendars. And also make sure you subscribe to get email updates, because that's where all this news is going to be breaking. As soon as you can register, that's the way you're going to find out. Of course, tune into Trek on Tuesday, and Aaron and Scouting can find it as well there. Again, not to harp on the cost more, but the people who attend Jamboree are hardworking individuals like you. We don't have to sell it. You can look in the comments here. There's not a single person complaining about, the process of having to get there or the cost. They're pumped and excited. And I've literally never seen a comment that's a take my money before. This is a first. Wolfgang has a question. If we have a chance to get to it, I see folks are jumping in to try to give him some information, but he's a regular viewer from Germany. He says, are international scout troops allowed to visit?
Oh, that's a great question. And hey, from Germany, excellent. Yes, absolutely. We will have the international contingents as a part of the Jamboree. We're going to give you work through your organization for your world organization to be able to come, your NSO, to come and be a part of that. But yeah, absolutely. International Scouts will be a part of the Jamboree.
And then Mark has asked this twice. Maybe it's something we don't have information on, and I don't fully have the insight into this, but he says, will you still have the 18 to 20-year-old youth allowed like in 23? That's a huge question my council has.
Mark, that's a great question. So number one, 18-year-olds are adults. We call them adult program participants. Okay, so they are not youth; they are actually adults. But we certainly are working with our older youth programs and our adult program participants, and so we do plan to have the ability for those scouts to come and be a part with a venturing crew with a Sea Scout ship as a part of the Jamboree. So absolutely.
Fantastic.
And
Aaron, are you
maybe I
any
could just
questions before I
yeah,
go through our long?
I did want to throw out one more question, Tom. And again, guys, the Jamboree is still more than 2 years away, so we might not have every single answer. But I thought this was a worthy question. In the past, Tom, there have been opportunities for families to visit the Jamboree, maybe Cub Scouts to visit the Jamboree. Can you give us any inside scoop on that? Do you think that's going to happen again?
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful question. Thanks for asking. We will have visitor opportunities. We will have visitor days. And when you come as a visitor, you have the opportunity to come and experience some of the program of the Jamboree. So there are places that you're allowed to go, places you're not allowed to go. But absolutely, there will be visitor experiences. There will be visitor days. With the days of the show, we'll have visitors that can come and be a part if you want to be on a show day. Those are really popular days. But yeah, more about that as we get a little closer. The visitor information will go out probably towards the end of 2025. So that's when you'll see some more information about that coming out.
Very good. One more time, just the general overview of what Jamboree is. If you're a new Scout family watching, maybe you have a Cub Scout and Scouts BSA age youth. Yes, your older youth are typically who will be attending something like National Jamboree, but your younger youth, like Cub Scouts, could be visiting with you, along with parents in kind of a visitor area. And the visitor area in the past has always been super cool. Yes, there are advantages to being a Jamboree participant and being able to take advantage of all the programs, but it's still very cool to come as a visitor. We'll probably do a whole show about that because it's super cool. And I always love seeing the Cub Scout uniforms out in the visitor center.
Yeah, you definitely want to come as a participant. If you can come, if you're old enough to come, that's where you want to be, because there are things that you'll get to do that visitors don't get to do. There's a lot of experience that happens in the Jamboree that is different. But if you can only come for a day, if you can only come, or if your Scout is younger and you just want to say, hey, what is this? Can I experience this thing so I know what they have to look forward to? Come and be a part of that visitor. That's a great opportunity for you.
I am about to go through the list of 10 folks who commented today and will be winning a sticker, but Joe joined late, and I think he's going to like your answer to his question. He's basically asking, hey, will there be large events this time, without the large arena events in he noticed the lack of them in 2023. Do you have, I know we covered this, but would you mind reminding our audience kind of what you found there, Tom?
Absolutely. Joe, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. And the answer is yes. Our plan is to have a big arena show. We heard from lots of comments in 2023. We heard on all of our surveys about how important that is. And so we absolutely want that to be a part of the 2026 Jamboree.
Very cool. He plans to bring both his sons in 2026. So
awesome.
That's very exciting. We'll see you there, Joe.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, Gina, while you tally up the winners, let me just throw out one more comment from a viewer I want to point out. Jessica said that her daughter had an amazing time in 2023. She can't wait to apply to staff in 2026. That is another great thing. If you went to the last Jamboree or the last Jamboree before that, and you're thinking, oh man, I want to go back. I'm 21 years old. I'm 22. I'm 24 years old. Guess what? You can go back. We need you as a part of the national staff. We will have information on that again in the coming months. We'll have Tom back on. We're going to keep on calling him and bothering him. Mm-hmm. He usually is pretty good about returning my calls, Gina. So we're going to keep on harassing him and having him come on. But I think it might be time for the moment we're all waiting for. Gina, do we have our winners?
Yes, so I'm going to run through these names. Wherever you're watching, we'll message you, ask you to email over your mailing address, and then we will ship these items your way. So listen closely because this is a lot of names. If I name your name, you won an Elevate sticker. It's the 2026 National Jamboree theme, and here's the logo. This is exactly what the sticker looks like.
There it is.
And it's going to Matthew Waller, Brian Binkley, Leslie Correa, Nick Newman, Eric Clark, Aaron Suzanne Astolfi Blank, Tom Osgood, Melissa Hallwincheck, John Daniels, and Angie AJ. Thank you all for commenting along. We'll keep asking Tom if he'll give us stickers to mail out. We'll see if we can get
I bet he's got
more.
some extras. I bet he's got extras, Gina.
Maybe sometime in the next 2 years.
There you go. We'll have other opportunities, and I would love to come back and visit with you guys. I always like hanging out with Aaron and Gina, the two celebrities of scouting, right? The two biggest celebrities of scouting right here, friends.
We are used to having big time guests on this show, but Gina, today's might be the biggest of them all.
Okay, Tom, if we were all walking a Jamboree, would the celebrity be here out of the three? I think it's very clear. Tom,
it's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious who it would be.
You have an open invite to the show. Thanks for making the time. It's no joke. Tom is very busy, and he's only going to get busier and busier every single day until 2026.
Yeah, he's going to be super busy over the next 2 years, and we're going to make him even busier by having him back on for future shows. And Gina, before we let the folks go, if I could remind anybody, 4 updates. Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. Jamboree.scouting.org. You can sign up to get emails there, right?
That's absolutely.
And then obviously Aaron on Scouting, the blog will keep you posted there. And of course, wherever you're watching this video right now, come back and watch us again every Tuesday. Check us out, and we will have more Jamboree updates for you as they become available.
Very good. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate your time today, bud.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.